episode 2 of the League Season 10. It is so great to be back again. I am your host for tonight, Madison Weeks. We have such a fantastic show for you tonight. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be bringing you the best quality television that my at-home studio / kitchen / living room / dining room can provide. I'm using a pile of books as a tripod. And they're all the books that I bought during lockdown, thinking that I'd definitely read them. And this is the first time I've seen them since I bought them. At least I'm getting some use out of them, hey? Anyway, tonight on the show, we are here to tackle political corruption. Now, you've probably heard a lot about this on the news lately, and political corruption is an issue that incenses me personally. It gets me angry. It just gets me so fired up that these politicians just walk around acting. Gets me so fired up that our politicians can just be so consistently fantastic. God bless our fearless leaders and God bless Australia. No, look, I can't do this. We are talking about political corruption. How bad is it? Is it a necessary evil? Do our politicians work for the people they represent, or do they work for themselves? Let's find out. So let's do it. Let's get into it. Let's start with New South Wales, where on a random Friday afternoon, the New South Wales Premier Gladys Berg, you know who I mean. Sorry, Gladys. Anyway, she resigned. Her reason for the resignation was that ICAC was investigating her for alleged corruption, and she had no choice. Apart from the fact that she had a choice, because we live with a justice system which assumes innocence until proven guilty. However, unlike many politicians, maybe Gladys developed a conscience regarding her alleged corruption, and that's why she left. Who's to say? Pretty unlikely. The people of Sydney were distraught. Flowers were laid at her office, with one passerby commenting, "This is our Diana." I mean, yeah, okay, I guess they both have shit boyfriends. I don't get why we should be eulogizing someone who's under investigation for alleged corruption. Gladys went from being the divisive premier to suddenly the people's premier overnight. I don't know, maybe they have a point. I mean, sure, she's engaged in alleged corruption, but I just think people hate to see a girl boss winning. To explain this situation a bit more, we've decided that the medium of song would be best. So here is a song describing Gladys and Daryl's very complicated relationship.
Oh, Daryl, promise me that you pretend we're not together, so I can mend the rules. Though, remember, for you I will lie. The less that you tell me, the more I can deny. Property deals brokered from your office, now you have to go. If you were dodgy, I don't want to know. This deal for your clubhouse is a sweetheart, too good to be true. Oh, Daryl, I did it all for you. Oh, Daryl, who gave the fuel to media allegations? Journals are so cruel. They dish dirt on me, and they poke and pry. And if they don't believe me, I will surely fry. Now you're giving evidence at ICAC. Now I have to too. Oh, Daryl, now we're in the poo. New New South Wales, now you must trust another. Now that I can no longer be your leader, how was I to know I'd be duped and dumped by my damn boyfriend? I never had a clue. Oh, Daryl, I'll pin it all on you.
See, song is the best medium to describe Gladys and Daryl's relationship. Rest in peace. Moving on, taking the alleged corruptible lead from his New South Wales counterpart Gladys Berejiklian, I got it. Her Victorian counterpart Daniel Andrews is also currently being investigated by IBAC. Just a heads up, tonight we're talking about IBAC, which is Victoria, ICAC, which is New South Wales, and Berejiklian, amongst other things. So it's a lot of terms. Please try to stick with me. I'm doing my best. So Mr. Andrews is currently being investigated for his alleged corrupt dealings with the firefighters union. We're keeping a close eye on how these things progress, and it's going to be very interesting to see if Mr. Andrews is a liar and whether or not his pants will in fact catch on fire. And if they do, will the firefighters union be there to put those pants out? The state opposition leader, Matthew Guy, has suggested that Dan Andrews should resign like Gladys over the alleged corruption, with Matthew Guy smirking as he made that suggestion during question time, much to the annoyance of Dan Andrews, who said, and I quote, "The leader of the opposition can, whatever that's called, that grinning, that smirking, whatever it is, it's almost woken up. So when you have woken up, come back to me." Whew, sassy. That's kind of hot, Dan. Anyway, I always enjoy watching Question Time because it takes me back to a simpler time. All the way our politicians behave, it reminds me of being back in primary school. Though in primary school we knew not to speak when somebody else was speaking. Speaking of Matthew Guy, the new opposition leader for the Victorian Liberal Party. Wait, I think he's the reinstated opposition leader for the Victorian Liberal Party. Because who could forget his infamous alleged dealings with the mafia back in 2017, which earned him the title Lobster Mobster. Man, if these past few years have taught us anything, it's that we cannot trust politicians. They keep finding new ways to disappoint us. So much so that I keep having to learn new terms that describe exactly how they're messing up this time. Take branch stacking, for instance. Branch stacking. What is it? I know, for me, it's when my Nan and I collect firewood together. Oh, but sadly I don't think Nan and I have made the news. The branch stacking that we're all seeing and hearing about on the news is for a far less wholesome reason, and it won't help you secure your place in your Nan's will. Branch stacking is basically getting a bunch of people whose votes you can control to join a political party, specifically a political faction within a political party. That way, you've stacked your branch. It's used as a way to influence candidate pre-selection, and essentially, it's politicians paying for and putting their mates into political positions so they don't have any pushback on any issues. Sounds bad, right? Yeah, that's because it's pretty bad. Despite what those who've been caught doing it will tell you, it's pretty bloody bad. We'll be right back after this short ad break. Here at The Leak, we pride ourselves on our journalistic integrity. With that being said though, we are now going to cross to our roving correspondent, Isaac, who's going to give us an update on Gladys Berejiklian. Buckle your seatbelts, folks.
Gladys Berejiklian has gotten into all kinds of mischief recently with her boy toy, Dirty Daryl McGuire. There's just so much scandal to talk about. her bold fashion choices, her scandalous love affair, and her under-the-table dealings with ex-ministers. It's also tantalizing, isn't it?
Isaac, do you think you could elaborate on that last part for us?
Which part? The scandalous love affair, the lovers' quarrel, or the nightclubs?
That part about her political career.
Okay. So, no juicy gossip then?
Let's just stick with politics, alright?
Okay, leave it with me. State Premier Mark Baird in 2017 resigned as Premier, and Gladys Berejiklian stood up to the test.
Like a white knight.
Yeah, or a megalomaniac. Politics is a nasty business, and you have to question the kind of ego one has to want to take over as a leader.
Did Gladys Berejiklian save New South Wales?
She caused controversy when she opted for an advertisement of the Everest Stake horse races to be screened on the roofs of the Sydney Opera House. This upset both animal activists and Sydney residents alike.
Well, yeah, not to mention despoiling one of Australia's wonders in the Sydney Opera House.
In 2019, she created yet again another controversy within her own party when she supported the Reproductive Reform Health Bill, which is a pro-choice bill that decriminalises abortion. This caused yet another lip spill, almost in her own party, with Matthew Mason Cox and Lou Amato agreeing that she's nothing but a homewrecker.
Well, it sounds like Berejiklian has scant regard for others.
The question is, saviour or tyrant?
I don't know, I guess time will tell. Thank you so much, Isaac. Now, let's head back to New South Wales for a moment. They've replaced their old Premier, Gladys Berejiklian, with Dominic Perrottet. What is with their names up there? Oh my god. Anyway, Mr. Perrottet, got it I think, hasn't made the best first impression as Premier, with all his views on all manner of reproductive rights. This got us thinking about what sort of pharmaceuticals relate to different politicians. To find out, we're now crossing to political pharmaceuticals representative Dr. Smith. Over to you, Doc.
Hi there, Dr. Smith, your friendly local big pharma rep, here to dose you up on our latest political pharmaceuticals and their friendly side effects. First up, Percocet, our premier feel-good... Oh, 1 second. That's better. Perrottet. Benefits only available to adults with children. Side effects may include interfering with contraception. The Morrison, our top-selling travel sickness pill. Got a national emergency on the go? Need to catch a flight double quick to your favourite travel destination? Take a Morrison. Side effects include increased sensitivity to sunlight. Forever. Last but not least, one we are particularly proud of. The Catter. As with all our political pharmaceuticals, we have no idea what it does or what it's even designed to do. But I can tell you the side effects include hat hair, ranting, 1,000 flowers bloom. Please consult your doctor if you notice any kind of crocodile bites appearing on your skin.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for those insights. Now, tonight on the show, we've actually got another correspondent to cross to. We've got Belinda on the line, who's been trying to simplify politics by explaining it through cooking. Although I think the mess that is politics might have extended to Belinda's kitchen. This is going to be very entertaining to watch. Over to you, Belinda.
Hello, darlings! Welcome back to Cooking with Belinda. That's me. There's only one chef in the kitchen. Now, I know that you're in today for a real treat. Now, you loved my lockdown pies. Pie 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, and 6.0. But now, I've got something even better. Today, we are cooking up Australian Democracy, 2021 edition. Delicious, delicious democracy. But first, let's see what ingredients are in the cupboard that we can use. Well, we won't be needing any of these for Australian Democracy 2021 edition. Now, you might have heard that this recipe is complicated, but let's get a start on it. Let's go to the crossbench. Usually, these ingredients are negligible, except for one particular ingredient. This one particular ingredient has the power to unite Australia, saying, "Oh God, it's back." That ingredient is 60 million teaspoons of Clive Palmer advertising. That can't be right, I hear you. That's more advertising than Labor and Liberal combined. That's exactly right. Let's move to the front bench for the final touches. Now, these ingredients are always changing, usually because one goes rotten. However, there's one particular ingredient that's always here, but always looks half rotten. Well, I hear you ask, why is it always here? No one knows exactly for sure. Now let's move to our state ingredients. So, let's start out with our New South Wales ingredients. We need to measure out 100 grams of Gladys berejiklian. Okay? This cup is a real pain in the ass to measure because I can't see the numbers properly. It's like it's trying to hide something. Now, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I actually do know what the numbers are trying to put in some Liberal. You're expected to put in some National too. Guess we've got to put in some Greens. Add the Independents to your own liking. We'll throw in some Labor. Now warning, you should never actually combine any of these ingredients together, but whatever. Okay. And lastly, a splash of leadership. Oh, damn, bloody spill. Now, that all goes into the oven. And presto. Ta-da! Democracy! Easy, easy democracy! Easy on the palate.
Okay, yeah, thanks for that, I think. Belinda, thank you for your insights. Good luck cleaning it up. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this short ad break. Next up, we are crossing back to our correspondent Isaac. Over to you, Isaac. In breaking news, Gladys Berejiklian has resigned. What is your read on Gladys?
She was a gorgeous premier, innovative, courageous, and gone too soon.
What do you mean? She never took responsibility for anything she did wrong.
She made others stronger by delegating that responsibility. So many responsibilities she delegated to others so bravely and made everyone a better person for it.
She was extremely corrupt, allegedly.
She was corrupt with love. She was in love. And can you blame her for making bad choices? Haven't we all made bad choices when we're in love? Can we blame her for being a human? For having a heart?
Okay, but if she did nothing wrong, why did she resign?
Because she's magnanimous and selfless. And she sacrificed herself for the good of mankind. Like Jesus before her, she has sacrificed herself and fallen on her sword for the Sydney-siders, for us Melburnians, and dare I say it, the world. It is a darker place now that Gladys Berejiklian has resigned and she's passed on. Politically, she's still alive, but she will be missed, and she was gone too soon for politics.
I'm sorry, Isaac. Alright, thank you. Yeah, thanks. Alright, now all jokes aside, we got to catch up with an actual expert in this field. We interviewed Sarah Ison, federal political reporter turned stand-up comedian. Here's what she had to say. Sarah Ison, welcome to the leak.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my God, do you ever sleep?
Oh, nah, like that's time for that later when you're dead, right?
I just want to kick off our interview by asking you, has your career in stand-up comedy helped break the ice when you're interviewing all these politicians?
Yeah, look, I think it has. I reckon there's pollies that I don't tell. I think I can just like probably tell that they're going to be a bit like, there are politicians who are like, oh, journalism or politics, this whole world should be your whole life. It's like a bit of a cult like that, right?
Wow.
But there are other politicians that I do tell, and it makes me this thing that doesn't exist so much in on the Hill, which is a human being.
Yeah, so it's such an interesting world. Like,
Yeah.
and do you think that like when stories of alleged corruption crop up, like what are some things you've observed in how these are addressed?
Okay, so very different federally and state. So the federal level, something that I've noticed, which is a bad thing, is that whenever there's like the sense of corruption and like sports rorts and stuff or whatever, the people who are most vocal about it are the opposition. It's their job to hold the government to account, right?
Yeah.
But a story, Labor says the government's corrupt and no good is kind of like, yeah, duh.
Have there been any ripples from the current New South Wales and like Victorian corruption scandals?
A few things have happened. Like, first of all, it's reignited the debate for a federal anti-corruption body. Like, that's something that was brought up in 2018. And with COVID and everything, and like with so many things, it's just like it's been silenced, right? Or not silenced, but we just don't have the headspace. And then with these state things, it brings it up again. Like, hey, where is that national body? So it's reignited the debate.
Break down the differences. So I know that there's the government's proposed Federal Integrity Commission, and then there's this alternative model proposed by independent MP Helen Hayes.
Yeah. So I think the main thing, so the government proposed this in 2018. We've kind of heard about it. They've laid it out, but we haven't seen like the full document, like everything in detail and so on. The main thing that is an element of this bill, it has to obviously pass legislation, that's gotten a lot of attention, is that it doesn't hold public hearings. So as you would have probably noticed, even if you're just flicking around on news channels, the New South Wales anti-corruption and Victorian anti-corruption stuff, you can see that on TV all the time. The hearings are public. That wouldn't happen with the Federal Commission. In comparison, as you can probably guess by now what I'm going to say, the alternative model does have public hearings, and it's way broader in who you can call and so on.
Awesome. Well, we've done it. We've done the interview. Thank you so much for your time.
Excellent.
Absolutely delightful. Sarah, everybody, so bloody great.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, well, that about does us for tonight, but thank you so much for tuning in, and do not worry, we will be back same day, same time next week for another episode. I have been your host, Maddy Weeks. Good night, take care of yourselves.